Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Ifa Frisca Rahmatillah, and I will present a summary of the book entitled Sadako and the Thousand Paper Cranes. But I'm not alone in here. I have my friends. Their name is Naufal, Indra, and Fadli Rahman, and they will be presenting after me. The book was about a young Japanese girl who is 6th grade at the time. She had an avid love for running. She was chosen for her school relay race, so she practiced every single day. On the day of the competition, her class won first place. However, on that fateful day, her life began to change with sickness and dizziness. She felt this as a concern, but never she did tell anybody about it, out of fear they'd be concerned about her. One day though, it became a secret no longer. On a cold February day during practice, the girl collapsed and was taken to the hospital. She was in a separate room as her parents talked to the doctors, and from the separate room, suddenly her mother exclaimed, "Leukemia, it can be." This is the true story of Sadako Sasaki, and her story just takes place a few years after the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing. She was just 2 years when it happened. She wasn't really affected at first, but it showed up eventually in her, and she was admitted to the hospital.
The next day, her best friend visited her at the hospital and gave her a golden paper crane. She explained to Sadako that if she could make 1,000 of them, then hopefully the gods would grant her a wish and she be able to get better. With this in her mind, she began to fold as many paper crane as she could every single day, in hopes that she be able to get better. There came a time in the hospital when Sadako met a friend who was 2 years younger than her. His name was Kenji, and he also had leukemia. Unlike her though, Kenji do not have his parents around anymore, and he was very pessimistic. They nonetheless thought become a good friend. There came a time, one day, when Sadako didn't meet Kenji all day long, and that following night Sadako heard the sound of hospital bed rolling away. A nurse came into her room and explained to her as calmly as she could that Kenji had passed away.
Hello guys, my name is Naufal Indra Ramadhani, and I want to continue the presentation from Fadli Rahman. That night Sadako grieved in her room for the death of her friend, but she never stopped again to keep folding these paper cranes and hope for the best. There came a point in her treatment also, when it seemed like she was getting better. She was allowed to visit home, but after the visit, she only took a turn for the worse, and that's when I knew that something bad was going to happen. One night, during October, her swollen and clumsy hands fumbled with piece of paper in hopes that she had been able to make one last paper crane before she fell asleep that night. The doctor took the paper away from her hands and told her that she could try again tomorrow. The next morning, it was October 25th, 1955, she ate one bite of her dish as her family and friends surrounded her on her bedside. She said it's good. In her sick and weakened voice, she took one last bite of the dish. Her eyes slowly drifted to sleep, and Sadako Sasaki never woke up. Thank you.
Part that I like the most is when Sadaki Sasako made 1,000 paper cranes in hopes that she'd be able to get better. I'm very touched because the way she didn't give up easily, even though she was really sick at the time.
I will recommend the book to my friend because this book is a good book and have a lot of meaning in it.
So this is the book that we have summarized for this presentation. Thank you.
That's all from our presentation. Sorry if there are any shortcomings. Hopefully this Sadako story can inspire you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.